You don't need their approval. This is not their experience to work through. If you're making a choice that's a little different than what somebody would do, okay, it's not their life. It's yours. Don't live your life like seeking approval. Because your best life, the life that you're gonna live, that's ultimately fit for you, what's right for you, is not going to be constantly seeking approval from other people. It's not going to be constantly needing validation. The only validation you need should be from yourself. If you go around expecting people to give you validation, you're going to constantly think, if I'm not receiving that, that determines if I'm not good enough. When you're giving it to yourself, that's a source. That's somewhere that it's coming from. And then everything else around you will equally be at that vibration. We all get desperate. Listen, man, I get desperate sometimes for a lot of things. I'm desperate for a lot to happen in my life. But if my feet are here, my feet are planted here, but my brain and all of my energy is going towards an outcome, I'm affecting the outcome. What I want to do with my life doesn't have to do, and hey, listen, I have a huge life ahead of me, no matter what I choose to do. Like, think about that. Whatever I choose, whatever path I decide to go down, whether that changes tomorrow, if I realize something, if I have like a moment of like, whoa, what the fuck? Let's do this instead. Or, but it's still gonna be me, because if it's real to me, it's a change that's worth it. You know what I mean? Anyway, whatever I choose to do, the best version of myself in any of those scenarios isn't going to be simply receiving something from other people. It's not up to somebody else to make this lifetime enough for you. You're not just a portion of a person. You are not a section. You are enough by yourself. And if you can't live a life where that is your truth, there is no space that you would feel comfortable in seeking that from somebody else. There's so much more lifetime worth living that you have not gone to yet. But it's up to you to make that happen. It's up to you to make that lifetime ahead of you worth it, even if you don't have a relationship or, when I was like 13, 14, I would constantly find myself posting on my private story, which, by the way, unpopular opinion? ? I think the whole idea of a private story is kind of stupid. I have not posted on a private story in a very, very long time, because I don't understand the point of having a social media app and then having a select group of people on there that you want to see stuff, and the rest can only see certain things. I'm an adult. I'm a grown woman. I'm gonna post on my Snapchat, on my main story, aka just for the people that I have on social media, because I have them there because I want them to see my stuff. I'm not gonna have a social media app and then have a big group of people and then only a small. No, everybody who's there is gonna see my life. I'm not gonna only. I'm gonna draw myself in a real naked. I used to find myself only posting certain things on my private story for like a boy that I liked to see, and it's like, I remember the specific day that I said goodbye to somebody, never saw them ever again, last year, and I had to tell myself that it broke me severely that day. But the next day, I got up and I was just the best version of myself, because I couldn't just allow that to determine the rest of my life. All of the feelings that came alongside being heartbroken, all of the feelings that come with it is completely normal, and there's no reason to get rid of any of that or disregard that or push that to the side or be like, I shouldn't have felt that way because of this, or, you know, I shouldn't have been that side. I wasn't that traumatized, whatever. None of that is going to help me in the long run if I'm like just shoving aside, putting things under the rug. I felt all the emotions. I got up the next day. I determined the rest of my future wasn't going to be based off of a heartbreak that I experienced. Because I know, no matter what happens in my life, there are going to be people that love me before and after they figure out who I am. That space exists. Oh, if I ever open up and show the real me, they won't like me. Oh, I'm gonna not text back so fast because they'll think, sorry. It is 2025. No more worrying about viewing somebody's story too fast, or oops, I'm like a crazy stalker for being the first person who saw their story. They posted it so you could see it, so somebody could. If somebody texts you and you text them back fast, oh my god, the end of the world. What did I write? If you like anybody to any degree, you shouldn't have to worry about showing that to somebody. Anybody who loves you at all isn't gonna like judge you for showing up in the way you're showing up, unless it's with ill intent. If you can't exist just as you are by yourself and be in nothingness sometimes, if you can't just put your phone down and exist in your own energy, I don't think you'll ever be happy. I'm sorry, that can't constantly just be seeking somebody else's energy. We're in that vibration of seeking somebody else's validation in order for us to feel like we're worth something. Whether that's like romantic validation, family, like we have daddy issues or mommy issues. I didn't say that in that voice to like mock that, like severely as well, but I just, following along, my hair just got really frizzy. Academic validation, whatever. The stem of all of that is just wanting to be good enough. But you have to remember that you are in any, whatever, like, why, like, if you're constantly seeking a solution in human form, oh, this is my solution for the weekend or whatever, like, hookups, whatever. I said this before, I don't understand that culture. I can't understand how something so sacred can just be thrown around like that. Like, sleeping around with people. I understand it's like, this person wanted to sleep with me. Oh, they wanted to sleep with me? No, they wanted to sleep with you, but not you. I just don't understand that culture. I don't know. I'm not trying to be deep and like, oh. Do you think your entire life is gonna be worth it? Your lifetime? As any of this, are you gonna like, you keep sleeping around, keep seeking validation from boys or girls or whatever, and do you think that it's gonna be ever enough? Because it hasn't been up to this point. I don't live my life to gain reactions. I live my life the way I do because I like to be a space and not seek a space. You don't need to lock in. You just need to stop being so performative. The hardest pill I had to swallow for the past couple years was, it's not that I'm not enough for this person, because I know I'm enough for myself. I had to start that somewhere because I didn't before. I was in something and I didn't love myself, and it just kept pushing out more of not love energy, and I realized, okay, I love myself. This is enough now. I have myself now. It's not going to be that painful to be by myself, because at least I have myself at the end of the day. And if that's not enough for you, like I've said over and over, then nothing will ever be enough for you. We go around thinking, I'm never going to fall in love, I'm always going to be alone. You're not going to be alone. because you have every version of yourself that has ever existed, whether you hate them or not. They're a part of you, and they support you. Your future self, whatever. Like, it's 2025. Whatever version, whatever you want to accomplish this year, act from the values of that person. Who is that person? You'll never know anything. You'll never know anything ever. No, you'll never know unless you try. You'll never know unless you just give it a whirl. That's what's so fun about life. Is I'm a very playful person. I recently was told that I'm an old soul, but youthful. It's by some random guy. I was having a conversation about how each and every single one of us, we are individual people, but because we are all together, English maybe. I love the fact that in life, you get to decide if you want to take it seriously, if you want to just, you know, be a doofus, if you want to be so, you know, get that serious job and be super professional and take everything like, oh, it's up to you if you want to do that. Does that make you happy to do that? If not, then don't fucking do it. Or if you just want to be playful and play around with life, play. That's what I'm going to do. When you decide you want to start living a certain way, that doesn't become not you. That becomes the best version of yourself. Because if you're living a life that isn't authentic to you, then that's not good. That's not you. I have a bunch of different favorite flowers. It's, you know, I like sunflowers, I like tulips, I like tiger lilies. Okay, beautiful. All of those flowers, each individually, this is just the analogy I'm going with right now, so please go with it as well. Every single one of those flowers is individually unique and beautiful in their own way. And the way that they grow. Wow, would you ever go up to a flower and ask it to look different or grow differently or like portray itself as something else in order to be seen differently? No. Don't do that to yourself. Don't become something else that isn't you because you want validation in some form. You want to be seen for you? Be you. Don't be anything else. Like, what are you talking about? I know that personally, I have experienced things and recently do experience the feeling of something being different because something or somebody isn't around anymore, or would be better and easier on maybe both of us or maybe just me if this person was here. I don't know. The whole idea is I have to be okay with the truth that this person isn't here. I have to be okay with the truth that there isn't anything I can do. I have to be okay with the truth that this is the reality. And if I force anything to change, then the trajectory will change. And maybe not for the better. If I'm messing with something that should just be left alone. If I'm attacking future me before I even get the chance to make the right decision. If I don't give myself the patience to figure something out. So I had to pave my way. I had to be funny before I became attractive. I had to be a funny kid before I became an attractive adult. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? And look at me. Still making folk laugh from time to time. You know, I'm gonna stop. Okay. A lot of us are 100% worth it and worth it for somebody else, right? But it's literally just a matter of if they're able to handle your worth. So sorry if that's been there the whole time. I did not notice that. If I'm fond of somebody, I will never be like, oh, I texted back too fast. This is my phone. This is my phone. The point of texting is to talk to somebody, like a conversation. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is your year. Decide that it's your year. Don't be like, oh, this year's already fucked. I'll do it next year. Dude, can we stop? Can we just be happy people? Can we be normal and happy and abundant? Because it's our decision and not anybody else's. Like, You will be seen and heard when you start seeing and hearing yourself. And I'm at the point in my life where I'm good. I'm in a good spot with how I see myself. Like, I know that it's only improvement from here. But I also know that with me finally being enough for myself and just being who I need, anything else that happens to me, I'm well equipped to handle it. Yeah. Right. I love you so much. Have a good rest of your day. Be the light if you don't see it in the world. Become it. Dude, you're crushing it. Remember that. If you don't think you're crushing it, start telling yourself that you're crushing it, and then you'll crush it. Why do my hands... Bye.